one Triumph oil tank, supply and return. And on there you can see the remnants of some mesh. So what this would have had back in the day, these bikes never had oil filters, but what you did have was a gauze around the outside, so it sat inside, and basically nuts and bolts and screws and washers and big bits couldn't find their way into the oil supply. Now I don't think it's going to make massive difference what's going to go on, but I thought I'd be interested just to take this apart, desolder what's left on here, and go through the process of making it. Okay, let me set up the burner and we'll bring you back. I suppose this is a Shedot custom version of an unboxing. We're going to do it without cutting my throat. Making this look very difficult. So, brass mesh. Wonder what we're going to do with that. Stick around and find out. So the idea is going to be we're going to find something we can roll this round, and then we're going to solder a joint together and maybe either make a cap or make it sort of shaped, well, you'll see, like a banana, I suppose, and crimp this back together. Okay, let me go and find something to wrap this round and we'll bring you back. So I found this bit of old mild steel. It looks pretty reasonable. So we'll cut a bit off of this with the trusty tin snips. And I want to make it longer or more material than. I've got a plan of how I'm going to join this together. I think that'd be enough. So I've just bought this from eBay, but I'm sure you could buy it anywhere else. There were choices of the type of, the amount of mesh or the bigger the size of the holes in it. Could have probably gone for something a little bit finer, but I think it'll be good enough for what we're trying to achieve, which is just to stop the nuts and bolts and screws and washers falling down there. Okay, now my plan is to put a fold on here and a fold on here and do a thing called a Dutch bend. So they sort of two bits and they link together. Then when we've linked it together, I won't be able to hold it, and then I can just literally run some solder down the side. So that's my plan. Let's see if I can make it happen and get the right diameter. Stay tuned. So I've just folded that in the vise. And then the plan, taking a trusty hacksaw blade, which is hopefully about the same thickness. If I've made my preparations, I've got the hammer first. Make sure we're screen. It's only very, very soft. It's only brass, so now I won't knock it all the way over. So I've created that effectively. I don't know if you can see that. And now I'm going to do another one this side, and then they'll lock together if I can get it right. Okay, let me just go and fold that in the vise. Now, if I've got that right, what do you reckon? Think I've got it right? I've also got to get the material. You can appreciate the material that's left in the middle that we're going to wrap round into a circle also has to be the correct length. So I've taken a bit of a view. Let's call it experience. I think that's going to be a bit tight myself, now I've seen it. Maybe, baby. I've got to try and get the hook part hooked in before we can turn it back into a circle. Well, that's what I'm telling myself anyway. I've made exhaust pipes like this before, and it does work quite well. So there you go. I've joined the two bits together. Now what I've got to do is make it round without pulling them apart. Now, of course, I could have just bought a brand new think we're in business. We're in business. Come on, baby. Oh, look at that. Not lost my touch. Okay, so then you can literally clamp that down. Now, there's plenty of ways I could have done that. I could have cut a strand of this off and tried to fish it through. But like I said, the plan now is I've got something I don't have to hold, and I can just drizzle some solder on that, and then we can work out how we're going to make a cap. Yeah, I'm impressed. Are you impressed? I am. And that is honestly the first time I've actually done that. Okay, let's solder this thing up. Well, let's give it a go. Just trying to get this to play ball. Definitely don't need it to be too. Let's get that out of the way. Definitely don't need it to be too warm. Right, let's join it together. Now let's see if we can just let that cool down. It's not very round at the moment. I need to just give it another tap round. We need to see if we can get that to fit on the fitting. I've just cleaned all that off with a wire brush, so I'm hoping it will take a tin quite easily, but we'll see. So I'm just going to make that fit on the end of there in a way that I'm really happy about. Probably try and cut off all these little fingers, and so you've got just a piece left, and then rest it on. So let me bring you back. So I've got that to fit. How well we're going to do in joining it together, we'll find out in a minute. But what I'm going to do, got some flux. I'm just going to just coat that round. And that hopefully you're going to let or allow me to get that wetted out. What I don't want to do is cover this thread in solder, otherwise it probably won't work again. I'll be chasing all the threads, which I don't really want to do. Right, okay, are you ready? Ready as ever be. Well, it's certainly got solder on it. Whether it's joined it to the steel bit underneath is another question. But we'll keep going. If I had a big soldering iron, I'd probably be using a soldering iron if I'm honest. Right, we'll try that. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but we'll see. Right, let me bring you back in a minute. So there it is. It's pretty well glued on the bottom. I can't pull, it's not already hanging off of it, but it's not got any load on it. I've just tried the acid test, which is to try and screw it back into the tank, and all of this is clear of the threads. I've just given it a little bit of a file just to take off the lumps and bumps. So now what you need to do is fill in the top. Now I was thinking about making a cap that would fit down inside there, but I think all I'm going to do is cut this at an angle, squash it together and glue it, and that is going to be the job. So let me just have a little bit of fiddle and I'll bring you back in a minute. Last bit then. Not sure about that. There it is. Not entirely happy with the top. I think the blowtorch is a bit too much of an animal for what we're trying to do, but I can't get it to go any lower, and I haven't got a big soldering iron. So we'll just try that in the tank just to make sure it all fits. And move on to the next thing. So a good test as if the washer fits. Looks promising. I need a spanner to do that up. Now I know I could have bought one of those, but where's the fun in that? I've actually enjoyed making that, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching it.